Now that the participant equity standards have been introduced, it is important to provide you with some helpful strategies that will assist you in disrupting harmful language and behavior while guiding the participant towards an acceptable solution. These strategies are simply meant to be a starting point to assist in having these conversations and do not represent all the available options. It is recommended that you review and practice these strategies, making them your own and becoming more comfortable using them. A running theme with all these strategies is to approach the situation with an open mindset, not assuming that the intent of the language was to harm anyone. Assuming good intent will allow you to communicate with the participant in an approachable, digestible, non-threatening manner. Strategy 1. Ask clarifying questions. Asking clarifying questions of a participant will help you to uncover the intent behind their actions. Such questions include phrases like, "What do you mean by that? Can you please repeat what you just said? Why did you say that? And what was your intent with that statement?" Often, these questions make participants think twice about their choice of language, helping them understand that their choice of words was inappropriate. Strategy number 2, speak from personal experience. Try speaking from personal experience to signal to the participant that they are not alone. Try using phrases such as a member of the queer community, I am very uncomfortable with the use of the term gay in a derogatory sense. My best friend's sister has Down syndrome. Do you think you can use a word other than the R word to describe something you don't like? These types of phrases will also help the participant to understand how their language affects not only participants, but staff and volunteers as well. Strategy number 3, using statistics or facts. Using statistics or facts to interrupt inappropriate or offensive behavior or language will help provide some legitimacy to your claims. For instance, killing oneself is nothing to be blasé about. 30,000 people die from suicide each year, leaving millions affected by the experience. Mental illness is a serious issue. Or, domestic abuse is nothing to joke about. DV kills about 4,000 women per year, 75% of which were killed when trying to leave a relationship. Facts and statistics provide hard evidence for why someone's behavior is inappropriate and should be used when applicable. Strategy number 4, use humor when appropriate. Using humor to de-escalate a situation can take the pressure and shame off the participant, allowing them to laugh it off without feeling too attacked. Some examples of this language include, "Oh, you think blank are bad drivers. I saw your attempt at parallel parking yesterday, and it was nothing to shake a stick at." Humor is not appropriate to use in every situation and should only be relied upon sparingly. Using humor to interrupt behavior also doesn't let the participant off the hook. The negative behavior will still need to be discussed in a more formal, private setting, clarifying exactly why the behavior is unacceptable or offensive. Strategy number 5, validating comments. Make and include validating comments or statements to help make the participant not feel attacked or othered. Examples of this include, "I think you're really intelligent and open to new ideas, which is why I felt comfortable broaching this topic with you. I hope you'll think it over." Or, "I know you, and your intention is never to be offensive towards anyone. I know that you are compassionate, and that this is an area you will devote time to learn more about." It is important to encourage and think well of others, not assuming the worst in someone's intentions. This strategy is based off these principles. Strategy number 6, I statements. Use I statements to relate to the participant, taking special care to not accuse or attack them. Some examples include, I just feel uncomfortable when people use the word lame because I've heard how non-able-bodied people feel when that word is used in a derogatory way. I prefer not to use it, and I just wanted to let you know why. Or, I would prefer if you did not refer to your shirt as a wife beater. I grew up in a violent home, and my mother was a victim of domestic violence. That term is very triggering for me. These language will help the participant to understand that their actions affect you and also stays away from harmful and aggressive you statements. Strategy number 7, invite to dialogue. A more direct strategy to take when trying to interrupt this kind of language involves simply inviting the participant to a dialogue to discuss their behavior. This could be a great time to educate the participant and find out what is really going on. Phrases to subtly invite someone to a conversation include, what makes you choose that phrase? And, do you think you could say what you really mean? These terms will allow you to enter into a dialogue with somebody without directly having to ask them to step aside to discuss the situation. Disengage and seek support. These conversations with participants run the risk of escalating quickly, as individuals might find it hard to receive critical feedback and adjust their behavior. For some, this process can be embarrassing and difficult to digest. In the event that a conversation with a participant begins to escalate, it's always okay to disengage from the conversation, cool off, and seek additional staff support. You will never be expected to remain in a situation where you feel threatened by a participant or feel that the conversation is not having its intended impact. Sometimes, choosing to take a step back can be beneficial for both parties in the conversation, allowing time for cooling off and reflection. If you feel comfortable re-engaging with the participant after this interaction, please feel free to do so alone or with additional support. Deferring the conversation to a peer or manager is also an option, particularly if you feel threatened or that the information would be better communicated/received from another individual. Strategy number 8, don't be judgmental. No matter what strategy you use, it's important to not be judgmental. If a participant feels attacked or judged, it can be very easy for them to shut down and therefore very difficult for you to interrupt the behavior and hold the participant accountable. To communicate that you are not being judgmental, you can try the following phrase. This is in no way personal. We all grew up steeped in this kind of exclusive language, and it's an ongoing process for me too. This also creates a feeling of being together for the participant, making them not feel alone or othered, and allowing you to have a more comfortable conversation. Above all, make sure to rely on the participant equity standards. After the participant has signed this document, it is an amazing resource to fall back on. When in a bind or dealing with a very combative participant, referring to these will allow you to reference concrete policy that the participant agreed to, allowing you to have a more direct conversation, hold the participant accountable, and provide them with needed equity education. Thank you for your time today. Please be on the lookout for additional resources that will be provided through the TPI intranet. For more additional information or training opportunities, please contact the Equity and Learning team. Have a great day.